All right, good morning, Junior Gold fans. Live from CHC this morning. We're on the Shields rink. As rematch with Eagan this morning. The same thing tonight and tomorrow morning with Lakeville tonight, and then face off again tomorrow morning. Starting lineup for the Spuds. Taking the face off is Monroe Judd. On the wings, Braden Chandler, and I believe it's Walter Gustafson on the other side. Jackson Krebs and Cullen Pink on the blue line. And our ref says we're ready to roll. And puck is underway. Gustafson up along to Krebs. Krebs will bank it into the near side. We're right on top of the action here, so centering pass gets through everybody. Krebs back in his own zone. He'll go to the near side to Pink. Pink hands it off to Chandler. We'll get some view on this here. Eagan dumps it in deep. Krebs banks it off the boards up ahead for Gustafson, and Gustafson finds Judd cutting through the middle. Judd up the middle to Pink. Pink up across the blue line. He'll dump one in. It goes wide of the net. Now Krebs pinches along the near boards below it. And Eagan clears out the center ice. Pink on the near side of Judd. Judd finds Gustafson cutting in the middle. Walter will dump it in deep as Spuds make changes. Eagan leaves it along the far board. All over to the near side. Skank in on the forecheck. He loses an edge. Centering pass, cut off by Carter Lee, but he couldn't hang on to that, and back goes Eagan the other direction. Eagan chips it in on net. We'll also cover that up. Oh, no. Actually cuts loose. Zeka from Moorhead able to clear. Now Eagan controls down low. Turnover there. Sharp angle shot. Wells gets a piece of that as it goes up into the glass. Now below the goal line. Loose along the side of the net, and finally Carter Lee picks up the loose puck. Lee up ahead for Skank. Skank continues the pressure. Now Packle. He'll leave it on the far side. Nobody there. Eagan will hustle to it first. Now Sarian at the point. Tries to hold. And Eagan clears it out to center ice. Eagan up ahead, 2-on-2. Quick shot there, goes wide of the net. And Packle comes back the other way for the Spuds. Up through center ice. Tries the side step of center to get that poke check away. Puck fresh off the bench. Eagan cuts wide and shot, and glove save hung on to by Welsh for a face-off coming in the Moorhead zone. Pluck out with Hodek and I'd say Brody Johnson, I believe, on the other side. Larson picks up the loose puck. Gets it pushed up along the boards. Turnover. Eagan back the other way. Shot and saved by Welsh. Hodek hands it off to Warzeka. Warzeka ring around. Shot there. Into the glass. That rings all the way around to the near side. Brody Johnson puts the pressure into the Spud zone. Hodek intercepts that pass. Eagan turns back around. Forecheck by Cluck. Poke checks it away. Cluck looking for a centering pass. That's intercepted by Eagan. Now out to the near point. Warzeka, his shot. Puts the defender up front. Eagan clears it out to center. Larson sidesteps one. Cluck chips it in. But Moorhead goes and makes changes in the meantime. Larson will settle things down. In loose into the corner. Warzeka banks it up along the board. Eagan now below the goal line, looking for a centering pass. Comes all the way up to the point. Warzeka hustles to it, and he's able to chip it out to center ice. And Eagan will have to get back onside. That one thrown on net on Welsh. Welsh will leave it. Judd will pick it up. He turns it over right in front of the net. Big collision there as Warzeka lays out an Eagan player as they collide in the center of the ice. Al Chandler with the loose puck. Gets it up to Gustafson. Gustafson will dump it in. Monroe Judd on the hustle. And Eagan able to chip it back out in control. Weaving through center ice. Eagan gets up to the blue line, dumps it in. Preps will hustle to it. He kicks it up on the boards. That goes all the way up to the blue line where the defender will take a shot on net and Welsh will glove that and hang on to it. .10:03 remaining here in the first period. Still no score. Floods off the faceoff. Gustafson gets it up ahead to Chandler. Chandler. And up ahead. Quick shot there. Save. Now Gustafson into the corner. Moves it to Chandler. Chandler kicks it up ahead to himself. Now it comes loose to the point. Pink turns around and flips it in down low. Now taken away by Gustafson. Gustafson's backhanded pass gets deflected, and Fink will have to go back and corral it. Fink will lay it up off the board. Gustafson out chips it over to the far side where Judd will pick it up. Judd leaves it for Chandler. Chandler throws it on net, and the goaltender will glove that up and hang on to it for a whistle. Face-off controlled by Eagan. They ring it around to the near boards. Osterman holds it in. Tackle. Leaves it in goal for Carter Lee. Now running around to the far boards, the Sarian will step up. Sarian will pinch it in. And Eagan will flip it up and over out the center ice. This time they'll pass in the middle. Eagan corrals it. They work their way up through the zone. That pass off the mark. And Carter Lee will pick it off and dump it in. Now Sarian at the point. Gets the poke checked away. This will come all the way on net to Welsh. Welsh will leave it for Klosterman. Klosterman. Turnover down below the goal line. Carter Lee steps in and up, pick it away. He tries to leave it, but nobody there. Quick shot there. That goes up high over the net. That shot blocked by Klosterman. He rings it around to the far boards. Eagan now rings it back to the near side. Jumping attempt goes off a Packle skate. Sarian works in the corner. Eagan controls. Moorhead doing a lot of chasing here, unable to get any kind of puck control. They're able to get out of the zone. Shot, turnover, loose puck. Big save there by Welsh on the pad. And finally, big save there again. They really struggled to get out of their zone for a long time. Packle in around everybody. Shot there by Lee, goes off the post. There's two-man game there between Packle and Lee, and an opportunity. Turnover, taken away by Larson. Larson gets it up ahead to Packle. Packle gets brushed off the puck. Now Brody Johnson gets a stick on that puck. Centering pass. Warzeka was cutting right down the middle. Puck was looking for him, but he couldn't quite connect. Warzeka on the hustle back. Good hustle by Warzeka. Odd man break as Warzeka gets a stick on that shot attempt. Now Cluck. And Is that Cook? Yeah, Cook's out here now with Pluck and Brody Johnson. Roseka gets the stick on that dump in attempt. Now Eagan walks in one-on-one, shot on net, and saved by Welch. 6:33 left here in the first period. No score between Moorhead and Eagan. Punch free by the Spuds. Up ahead, 2-on-1. Judd trying to find Gustafson. A little bit out of his reach. Now onto the near side. Judd powers his way through the faceoff circle. Gustafson behind the net, leaves it for Chandler. Gets through his feet. And Eagan able to clear out the center ice. Krebs gets his teammates back on side. Judd stand on that pass. Now taken away by Krebs. Krebs leads the charge. They got numbers 3-on-1. Krebs leaves it at the blue line where there's nobody. And Egan's going back the other way, 2-on-2. Poke check there, and that's an offside on Eagan. There's a nice poke check there by Cullen Pink to halt that zone entry by Eagan. Face off, one back control by the Spuds. Edge of the Tampa intercepted. Quick shot on net, saved by Wells. Number 5 for Egan's a dangerous player. He picked that pass off and went right in on net. All the way around the board to the far side. Moorhead up through center. Skate carries into the zone entry. Leaves it for Packle. Packle takes the shot and goes off the shin guard. Now he tips it in low. Skate hustles after it, but Eagan able to clear. Dumped in deep. Welsh will leave it for Klosterman. Klosterman up along the boards. Little drop pass there, and the lead pass up ahead to Packle. Packle loses the puck, trying to dangle through the zone. Skank picks it up. He rings it around to the near side right underneath of us. And clearing attempt taken out by Eagan out the center ice. Now Packle spins it back through the zone again. He leaves it for Skank. Centering pass. Carter Lee hands out to Packle. He gets a soft backhander on net. And Eagan goes back the other direction. Number 5 all the way around. Packle and Warzeka working down low. Out Skate comes into support. And Carter Lee banks it off the boards. Unable to get it out. Eagan holds it in. Centering pass, shot, pad saved by Wells. And finally able to punch it free. And Carter Lee up ahead with Packle. 2-on-2 is fast behind Packle. Packle tries to flip the centering pass through everybody. Moorhead in the middle of changes. Warzeka steps up and misses. 2-on-1. In all alone. Shot. Goal. Eagan with the odd man break. Defense stepped up for Moorhead while the middle of changes, and that led to a 2-on-1 for Eagan. And they make Moorhead pay, and they get on the board first here, 1-0 with 3:55 remaining in the first period. Eagan dumps it in over Warzeka's head. Larson races back for it. Larson leaves it behind the net, but that's an Eagan player there for it. Now Eagan below the goal line. Brody Johnson battles along the board. Eagan at the blue line. Moorhead unable to clear. 3 opportunities to get the puck out of the zone. And finally, Warzeka will clear. Warzeka with a head of steam up the ice. He goes wide on the right side. Gets the poke checked away. And Eagan sends it back the other way. Poke checked away by Clutch. Soren gets up to the red line. Pumps it up ahead. Moorhead needs to make changes. So does Eagan. So Eagan's content to dump it in deep. Preps. Chips it up along the board. Up ahead goes Gustafson. He'll leave it in down low. Hodick gets to it first. Gustafson with Pluck and Hodick. Pluck behind the net, looking for a centering pass. Out to the point to Krebs. Krebs simply dumps it back down low. Now Walter battles down low. Pluck with it. And Eagan able to find a control and clear. They'll send it the length of the ice, and that'll be an icing against Eagan, bringing the faceoff all the way back down to Eagan's zone with 2:17 remaining here in the first period. Monroe judging to take this faceoff. Monroe was unable to control it off the faceoff. Eagan out the other way. Preps with a good hustle. Cuts that off. Eagan controls. Now poke free by Gustafson. Eagan spins back up through center ice. Pink poke checks away, and Chandler with the loose puck. Chandler in through center ice. He'll dump it in and chase it himself. Eagan steals it away. Eagan steals it away. Krebs will dump it in. Buzz will touch up. Get onside. And that pass by Eagan clears everybody, and that's an icing on Eagan. 1:27 left here in the first period. Eagan with a 1-goal lead, 1-0. Eagan rings it all the way around to the near side. Up through center ice. Battle for the loose puck. Picked up by Skank. He'll leave it back for Sarian. Sarian up ahead, and that's out of Cargalee's reach. And that'll be an icing against Moorhead. 1:05 remaining here in the first. Turnover. Quick shot there. Saved by Welsh. Another shot on net. Welsh with the save. Eagan pouring on all the pressure. Right at the end of the period here. Was unable to get it out of their own zone. Really struggling here, and finally able to clear out the center ice. Eagan will settle things down. They'll get everybody on side. Up ahead on the far side. Step up, shot, save. Puck loose behind the net. Now at the top. That one's touched by a high stick by Eagan. Moorhead didn't realize it. They could have let Eagan touch it up and get a defensive zone faceoff. Shot there, blocked. 13 seconds remaining, and Spud's finally controlled. Carter Lee up ahead. He'll dump it in the red line if he needs to go for changes. 5 seconds remaining. And that's the end of period number 1. So after one complete period of play, Eagan leads Moorhead 1-0. Sorry, back at action here. Quick little shot deflected up high, and Welsh decided to glove that and hang on to it. Not take any chances on the side of the net. Face off. Eagan at the point. Stand on it. Blocked by Cardelee. Cardelee spins it back around. Taken away by Eagan. Number 5. Finally, Pink pokes it free. And now Skink rings it around the near side and all the way out to center ice, where Eagan will have to get back on side. Eagan back to center ice. Poked away by Lee. Eagan sets shop up in their own zone. They chip it up ahead. Krebs will race to it. Krebs gets it up along the board to Packle. He chips it right out the center ice. Now Eagan at the blue line. Poke check free by Krebs. And Krebs chips it up ahead. Tries to get the Carter lead, but it gets poked free. So Carter will corral it down on the far corner. The centering pass goes off an Eagan defender. Battle for the loose puck in a bunch of feet. Tackle, centering pass. Oh, Gustafson right out front looking for the tip. He missed it. Nifty little pass there by Packle. And Gustafson was kind of all alone right in front of the net. Klosterman, centering pass, whips on it. Chandler takes it away at center ice. He cuts through the D, rolls in on net. And Eagan takes control in behind their own goal line. Up through center ice, Klosterman. Pass goes off a stick. Gustafson sends it back to the far side to Klosterman. Klosterman to Chandler. That pass off to lose control. Number 5 walks in around. Shot there, saved by Welch. And Moorhead able to clear. That puck will not make the distance, so there'll be no icing. Up ahead, Sarian deflects it back into the zone. Jumping attempt, glove down by Chandler. Chandler banks it off the boards. Klosterman able to push it out to center ice. Eagan back in. Now Packle sends it back to the way, but that'll go the distance for icing. Actually, excuse me, that was Judd that was looking for a pass up ahead. So 12-10 remaining here in the second period. Still a 1-goal lead for Eagan. 1 first period goal by Eagan. Is all we got on the scoreboard so far. Face off. Eagan out of the point. Shot there, and we'll save that and hang on to it. Up front, Eagan dumps it in at the blue line, but Larson takes it away. And Larson's pass off the mark, and that'll be an icing on Moorhead. He was looking for Cook up ahead. Larson up along the near board, punches up through center ice. Eagan with control, turns it back in the other direction. Orzeka turns it back, and Moorhead able to clear. Brody Johnson up ahead. Can't control the puck, and Eagan dumps it back in. Orzeka to the near side to Larson. Larson, pass over to Cook. Cook deflects it up ahead. Puck will give chase. Both checked away by Soren. Comes all the way out to the point. Quick shot there by Pink. That's blocked, and back comes Eagan the other direction. Shot there. Oh, dangerous as well. Made the save. Pink looking to pick up the puck, carried it right through the crease. Good job there by Cullen. Check in down low by Cluck. Cluck gets lit up from behind. Now Eagan back on the other direction. I'll check away by Krebs. Krebs up through center ice. Gets it ahead to Skank. Skank with speed around the edge. Quick shot there. Goes wide through the crease. Comes to the far side to Packle. Now Skank with it. Centering pass. By Lee down low. Packle gives chase. Oh, Carter looking for Skank cutting down the slot. And Eagan clears. Klosterman touches it, so we'll also pick it up and hand it off to him. Klosterman up ahead to Packle. Packle turns it over right in front of the goal. Loose puck. And finally Moorhead able to clear. That was dangerous. Now Skank pressures up ahead. Handed it off over to Carter Lee. Carter Lee will dump it all the way around. Packle with it. He'll buy some time as Moorhead looking to make some changes. Back comes Eagan the other direction. Long lead pass up ahead, but Welsh will chip that to the corner. Oops, sorry. Now up to the point. Eagan controls. They show it on net. Welsh sticks that to the corner. Sharp angle shot there, deflected in on Welsh, but he'll leave it for Judd. And Judd will turn the spuds back up the other direction. Judd up ahead. Cuts to the middle, gets it poke checked away. Eagan dumps it in down low. Therrien takes a check into the boards. Centering pass and scored. So Moorhead turns it over in their own zone. Ends up centering pass in front of the net, and Eagan leads 2-0. .8:55 remaining here in the second period. Moorhead trails by 2. Orzeka gets it loaded. Chandler. Now Eagan back the other direction. Gets it down deep. Banks it off the glass. Larson gets to it. Judd. Cross ice pass. Chipped up by Chandler. Long lead pass. Stolen away by Caden Larson. Jason Larson in on the rush. Skates through the middle. Warzeka steps up. He walks in. Quick shot there. That goes wide of the net. Brings around to the near board to Caden. Larson sends it down low up to, it comes up to Warzeka at the point. Warzeka's shot just misses the net. And Eagan able to clear. Will it make it? No, it will not. It'll be touched up as Eagan hustles back. Just like the third period last night. Eagan winning the races. Eagan dumps it in. They're offside. So Warzeka will calmly pick up the loose puck. On the near side to Gustafson. Gustafson dumps it in. Eagan clears it out to center ice where Krebs will pick up the loose puck. Krebs banks it off the glass down deep. Turnover, picked up by Cluck. He tries to skate it right in into the front of the net. Gets the poke checked away, and back comes Eagan the other direction. Nice poke checked away there by Krebs. Krebs gets it up ahead to Cluck. Cluck gets knocked to the ice. Now Brody Johnson working low. He throws a centering pass. There's nobody there, and Cluck with a backhander just goes wide of the net. Eagan up through center ice. Quick shot there, and Welsh would love that and hang on to it for a whistle with 6:40 remaining. Face-off coming in the spud zone. Skank in to take this face-off. He feeds it back to Fosterman, he rings it around and goes off a Eagan player. Tackle up ahead all alone. Shot and saved by Eagan. Eagan controls below the goal line. Sends it all the way down. No icing. As they're saying, Fosterman could have played it. Fosterman in his own zone. He loses it. Now Eagan throws one on net. Welsh saves it to the corner. Sarian up ahead. Outside the zone. Eagan controls. They walk back in. Shot there. Save. Rebound. And finally Moorhead able to gain a little control of it. And Lee will send it up ahead. Tackle is sitting out at center ice. Centering pass. Shot on net as Fosterman joined in on the rush. I don't think he could get he was tied up front. And back comes Eagan the other direction. Eagan dumps it in deep. Well, stops it, leaves it for Warzeka. Now Eagan at the point. Warzeka gets laid out from behind on a blind check. Tackle tries a centering pass as Gustafson was cutting down the middle. And yes, we are getting a penalty call. Cross-checking to number 13 as he cross-checked Warzeka from behind when the puck was long gone. 5:06 remaining here in the second period. Moorhead trailing 2-0. And they'll get their first power play opportunity of the morning. Krebs, quick shot there off the face-off. That goes wide of the net. Eagan tries to clear, thrown away by Chandler. Chandler over, shot. Gustafson with a backside opportunity. Now Judd tries to bank one in short side and whistle as the net comes off its spot. Eagan up ahead on the shorthanded. Pinched off by Krebs. And Eagan's offside. Face off. One back to Krebs. Up ahead. Pink dumps it in. Now finally Pink corrals it and settles things down. And then leaves it to Chandler. He gets the poke checked away. And Eagan comes up the other way. They get around Pink. Well, Chandler picks up the loose puck. He's up through center all alone. 1-on-4. Picked off by Eagan, and they'll dump it down the other end. Welsh will leave it for Krebs. Krebs throws a bullet of a pass. That's unable to be corralled by Judd and goes the distance for icing. Not the kind of power play unit we're looking for here. We look kind of razzled. Face off to the right of Wells. Eagan dumps it in deep. Larson hustles to it. To the near side for Carter Lee. Carter Lee, long lead pass up to Packle. Packle runs in deep. Now Eagan back the other direction. Poke pass Larson. 1-on-1. Quick shot there. That goes wide of the net. Rings all the way around to the far side for Packle. Packle up with Lee, 2-on-2. Centering pass, gets outside of that. Larson's shot, gets some bodies up front. Warzeka tries to shoot it up. And back away comes Eagan, 1-on-1. Good hustle back by Larson. Nobody outruns Caden Larson. Packle, cross ice pass. Lee, back to Packle up the middle. Lee, Packle, shot, save. Now it's loose on the side of the net, and we finally get a whistle down in the Eagan zone, as both teams are both back to full strength, 5 aside. Back to 5 aside. Loose puck along the near board. Eagan clears, goes off of Krebs. And Moorhead out to come all the way down and pick up a loose puck. Fink. His pass off the mark. Stolen away by Eagan. Now Cullen will push it out past the blue line, but Eagan dumps it back in. Krebs from behind his own goal. He pokes it up ahead to Cook. Cook cross ice to Pluck. Pluck hands it off to Brody Johnson. Brody Johnson works it in low. Comes all the way out to Pink at the point. He throws a shot on net. And sticked and gloved out of midair by the Eagan goaltender. 2:11 remaining here in the second period. Quick shot there out the faceoff by Chandler. Bad save by the Eagan goaltender. Now battling down the corner is Judd. Rung around to the near side. Warzeka steps up to help in. Eagan steals it away. They'll set up their exit. Now up to center ice. Skated past everybody. Warzeka takes it away. And Warzeka will get up to the red line and dump it in. Walter Gustafson on the rush. Comes all the way up to the point to Judd. Judd throws a shot. Glove down. Loose puck up front. And finally punched free. And Larson will have to curl it back at center ice. Warzeka at the red line will dump it in as he goes for a change. Now Krebs steps up and throws a soft one on net. Defender sticks it to the corner. Just a little over a minute remaining here in the second period. Eagan up ahead, quick shot there, and Wells will glove that and hang on to it for a whistle. 1:04 remaining here in the second period. Spuds trail 2-0. Spuds unable to get anything going in the offensive end. Got to get the puck moving. A lot of one-on-one. Carry the puck until we get it poke checked away. Stink drops it off to Fink. Fink rings it on the board to the near side. Too far to the reach for Lee. Eagan at the point. Dumps it into the far corner. Now under a minute remaining. Now back at the point. Eagan dumps it in low. Fink works along the board. Fink tries to hand it off up to Packle. Packle gets it poke checked away. Now Skank with the loose puck. Skank up ahead. Centering pass, that goes right off the goaltender's stick and up into the air, and the goaltender will glove that and hang on to it. .31 seconds remaining. Eli Skank in to take the faceoff. Eagan rings it around the far boards over to the far side. Pokes up by Pink. Now hand it out to Krebs. Krebs flips it out to center ice. Krebs goes cross ice over to Packle. 7 seconds remaining. Now Eagan back the other direction. They throw it into the corner, and that's the end of period number 2. So after 2 complete periods of play, Eagan leads Moorhead 2-0. We'll go on mute here for about 10 minutes as we get a Zamboni break. We're going to come back for the third and final period between Moorhead and Eagan. All right, we're ready to get back at it here as third period action from the Shields ring today as Moorhead trails Eagan 2-0. Moorhead struggling to get any offensive zone traction here today. And a one and done in and out. See if they can get this third period going after the Zamboni break. Get settled into their offense. Pink at the red line. Dumps it up ahead. Too far for everyone. Eagan spins back through center ice. Up ahead, one-on-one. Krebs pushes the play wide. Quick shot there. Blocker saved by Wells. Now comes out to the point. Centering pass. Chipped away by Pink. Now Pink leaves it on the near side for Judd. Judd. Long lead pass. That's behind everybody. And that's icing on Moorhead. Pink brings it on the board over to Carter-Lee. Carter-Lee centers it up through Packle, up through center ice. Packle in one-on-one. Shot there, into the chest and saved by Eagan. Walter Gustafson in to take this face off. Controlled by Eagan. They bring it around to the far side. All stolen away. Quick attempt there by Walter. Shot attempt. Oh! Carter-Lee with a shot deflected. Walter was on the back door trying to bang it in. Now Carter-Lee up front. Shot high up into the glass. Gun! Tackle on the back door. Finds another rebound. Exactly what we talked about. Needed sustained offensive zone pressure. The Spuds battle away at 2 or 3 rebounds. And Packle able to finally put one in the back of the net as the goaltender was sprawling around trying to keep things going. So, quick goal here in the third period. Spuds get some life now. Get on the board. Now it's a 2-1 lead for Eagan. Eagan carries it in deep. Centering pass, shot on net, and we'll also save that. Eagan off the face-off. Shot there on net. We'll also love that. Plucked in to take the face-off. Loose in front of the net. Larson gets to it. Larson's tied up. And attaboy, Caden. Caden's going to draw a hooking call against Eagan, and Moorhead will go on the power play. Good hustle and hard work there by Caden Larson. He draws a hooking call against Eagan, and Moorhead now will go on the power play. They send out Lee, Packle, and Gustafson. Pink and Krebs at the blue line. Face off won by Eagan. Comes all the way around to the near side. Packle able to hold. He leaves it for Pink at the point. His shot deflected off the goalie's shoulder and up into the glass. And Eagan banks it off the boards out of play. And Cullen will go back and corral it. Packle up through center ice. Skates it in. Works his way low. All the way around to the top of the circle. Now leaves it for Krebs. Krebs throws it in wide of the net. Packle recovers it. Packle now. Hands it off to Gustafson. Gustafson up to the point to Pink. Pink back down low on the near side to Gustafson. Cross ice over to Krebs. Krebs' shot goes off a stick and up into the webbing. Skank comes out with Chandler and Judd. Chandler sets up the power play, rings it down low to Skank. Skank hustles for it. Eagan picks it free and rings it out of play. A little more head on the puddle here. 1 minute gone by. Unable to get their power play really set up yet. Now Warzeka gives the near side to Skank. Skank carries it in wide. Larson pinches in. Caden able to hold for the brief moment. Now Eagan banks it off the boards, and they finally able to clear. Moorhead has not figured out an answer to enter in the zone here. Now Chandler up the near side. Braden Chandler centers the pass. Nobody there but green Eagan defenders. Now he looks for a centering pass that goes to Warzeka. And that's an offsides on Moorhead. Rather late call. Probably the correct one, though. 2 seconds remaining here in the power play for Moorhead. Clocked out with Cook and Johnson. Banks out to the board. Fink. Cross ice over to Brody Johnson. Now Krebs steps up. Krebs sends it over to Cook on the near side. Cook goes cross ice over for Krebs. Krebs leaves it for Brody Johnson. Brody down low to Krebs. Krebs tries to center it, but he centers it to nobody. And it goes all the way back to Cullen Finkel, recovering his own zone. Cullen's pass picked off by Eagan. Now Soren dumps it into the Eagan zone. He'll give chase. Eagan up along the near side, right below us. Up through center ice. Fink cuts off that pass. Now he kicks it over to the near boards. And Fink leads the charge the other way. Fink to the near side to Cook. Cook. Battles in down low. Now Cluck to the support. Cluck pushes it down to Cook. Cook pinches it up against the board. Cluck into support. Cluck tries a centering pass, but Eagan picks that off and they dump it the length for an icing call. 10:13 remaining here in the first period, or third period. Buds trail 2-1. Gustafson in to take this face off. Quick shot there. Rebound loose. Tackle was looking on the back door, but goaltender kept it in front of him. Quick shot by Carter Lee off the face off. Walter ties it up, but Eagan able to pick it free and come out. Eagan, quick shot there. That deflects just wide of the net. Now Klosterman gets up the board to Packle. Packle tries to chip it out, but Eagan able to hold. Now Klosterman battles along in the corner. Klosterman, entering pass. Now lead pass. Packle unable to corral it. And that's an icing on Moorhead. .9:41 left here in the third. Face off. Long lead pass up to Packle. Packle up ahead. 1-0. Pass there out of the reach of Lee. Quick turnaround. Packle tries to bank it down low. Eagan able to pick it free. And Eagan able to control and carry out through the Spud zone. Quick shot there. Blocker saved by Wells. Larson rides the Eagan player into the board and steals the puck away. Caden, lead pass up ahead, held in by Eagan. Quick shot there, saved by Wells. And Moorhead able to clear, and that one will go the distance for an icing on Moorhead. 8:56 remaining here in the third. 2-1 lead for Eagan. Face off over the near far boards. Eagan walks up front. Puck slides right through the crease. Moorhead unable to get it out of their feet. Now chasing behind the net. Krebs. Now it comes over to Judd. Judd's cross-eye pass up ahead for Skink. Eli goes wide. Looks for a centering pass. Judd walking down the middle. Cullen Pink shot. This goes wide. Judd fans on it right out front. And Eagan able to clear, and Krebs will settle things down. Krebs spins back around. Finds Judd up center. Judd tips it in, so no icing on Moorhead. Eagan from behind their own goal. Pink knocks that out of midair. Hands it off to Cluck. Cluck now gets it up to Chandler. And Chandler will dip it in deep. Judd in on the forecheck. All right below us, Judd. Quick shot there. Follows it up. Rebound punched away by the defender. Now Brody Johnson. Right down below us, Klosterman unable to hold it in onside. And it'll get punched away where Sarian will bank it out ahead. Icing's waved off. As they're saying, Eagan could have played it. But they couldn't because they would have had too many men as they were making changes. The time that puck went sliding right through their bench. Eagan up ahead through center ice. That shot deflects off of Klosterman's skate and off the glass, and Welsh will glove it down and hang on to it. 7:11 remaining here in the third. Spuds trail by 1. Puck loose. Warzeka spins around. He rings it around to the far boards. Eagan dumps it all the way down low again. Centering pass. Shot off the post. Good old red iron. And Cluck's going to draw a penalty. Soren Cluck gets hauled down. So Cluck will draw, again, hooking call. Hooking call on Eagan. So Cluck with the hard work out front draws a penalty, and Moorhead goes back on the power play with 6:48 remaining. See if Moorhead can get their power play unit rolling here. Face off. Tackle up to Warzeka. Warzeca's shot goes off the defender's stick wide of the net. Now Packle working in low. His shot hits the stick and goes wide of the net. Able to clear is Eagan. Up ahead, 1-on-1. Shot there, saved by Wells. Good hustle back by Warzeka to pressure the puck. Now Larson with it. He banks it up ahead to nobody. Eagan sends it the distance. Welsh will leave it for Warzeka. Warzeka now gets tripped up. Let him touch it up. And that's going to be a 5-on-3 power play now for Moorhead. Warzeka was raced around the boards and he got tripped up. So with 6:05 remaining here in the third, Spuds trail by 1. They'll have a minute 11 of 5-on-3 power play here against Eagan. So this is Spuds' opportunity here if they can get one on the 5-on-3. Tie it up and still have a power play remaining. Skink, Judd, and Chandler. with Pink and Krebs. Chandler with the puck, leaves it up for Pink. Pink on the near side. Shot there. Goes off the iron. I didn't think the net had moved, but the ref thought it did, so we'll get a face-off here as the net comes off the spot. Skank leaves it for Judd. Judd to Pink. Pink back down low to Judd. Judd shot. Deflected. Skank goes far side over to Krebs. Krebs back over to Skank in the middle. Sorry. Skank walks in. Shot. Blocker save up into the netting. And Moorhead will change up their power play unit. Walter Gustafson in to take the face off. Comes out to Warzeka at the point. Warzeka shot and scored! Warzeka with a shot off the face off. Got deflected up front somehow. Crossed up the goaltender. He didn't have a chance of that one. He was going to make the play on the puck and hit a body up front. And Warzeka puts the Spuds tied up now 2-2. And Spuds still have another minute 28 of 5-on-4 power play. So Cluck, Hodek, and Brody Johnson will come out. Face off over to the far board. Larson back to Warzeka. Warzeka calmly skates it up through center ice. Throws it in on net. Goaltender does not know where it's at. He does have it stuck underneath his pad. Cluck in to take this face off. Loose puck held in by Larson. Larson throws a shot on net. Hodek shot. Save. Hodek shot again. That one gets deflected wide. Now Eagan will try to pinch it down low. Hodek centering pass. That gets deflected away. And Eagan rings it the length of the ice. Welsh will leave it. He'll ring it around the near side for Hodek. Hodek cross ice over to Brody Johnson. Brody dumps it in low. 40 seconds remaining here. The man advantage for Moorhead. Puck. And now Eagan with a long lead pass up through center ice. Eagan up ahead. Now stolen away by Warzeka. Warzeka gets it over to Cluck. Moorhead goes for changes. Cluckin all alone. Throws a shot on net. That's gloved, but not hung on to. Klosterman tried to pinch in and hold at the blue line, but that gets past him, and Monroe Judd will pick up the loose puck. 4 seconds remaining. The man advantage for Moorhead. He gets it up ahead to Gus Klosterman. Klosterman shot. Oh, out of play off of a skate. That one hit the roof, the wall, and everything else. 4:01 remaining, all tied up at 2 apiece. Face off coming in the Eagan zone. Skank in to take the face off. Eagan wins the clean back. They ring it around to the far board. Sarian will hustle to it. Sarian unable to hold, and Eagan comes away with it. Up ahead 2-on-2. Klosterman pokes that to the corner. Centering pass comes out front. Drop pass there. That shot blasts up into the glass. Stuff attempt saved by Wells. Klosterman tries to clear. Held at the point by Eagan. Penalty coming up against Moorhead. Puck cleared out the zone. Eagan will settle things down. They'll chase it into their own zone. Long lead pass up ahead, and that'll be an icing on Eagan. And let's see what the penalty was here. Penalty coming up on Sarian. So 3:21 left here in the third period, all tied up at 2 apiece, and now Eagan goes on the power play. Face off, one in deep. Krebs banks it off the glass and out of play. Back out, not out of play, but out to center ice. Eagan works into their zone entry. Drop pass at the point. Shot there, blocked up front by Krebs. Now Krebs battles along the boards. He throws it in behind the net to Pink. Pink able to get some skating room, and he clears, and he'll send it all the way down where Eagan will have to retrieve. Eagan works on their zone, up through the zone, and across the blue line. Pink punches it behind the net. In on tight angles, number 5, shot there, saved by Wells. Now Eagan back out of the point. Quick shot there, and Wells will save that. Referee having to talk with a couple of Eagan players who 2:18 remaining here in the period. Face off one back to the point. Judd with pressure, and Judd's able to clear. Brody Johnson on the forecheck. Eagan up through the center ice. Now poke free by Brody out to center ice. Eagan will have to get back onside. Brody causing a menace up front. Now Eagan enters into the zone. Eagan up in the middle, throws it in on net. Welch to the pad, save to the corner. Eagan now behind the goal line. Centering pass, shot, saved by Welch. Loose puck up front. Moorhead able to clear to the boards. And Moorhead back to full strength. Penalty over. Shot, loose puck. And Welch covers that up. And penalty coming up against Morzeka now. So just as one penalty expires, Moorhead takes another one. So minute 15 left here in the third, and Eagan will stay on the power play for the remaining of this one. Face off, one back. Krebs banks it off, but he throws it off the Moorhead bench, so that face off comes right back into the Moorhead zone. Battle for the face off. Bodies lay on top of it. Loose puck. All right, unable to quite get it out, but Walter chases it down and finally gets it out to the neutral zone and gets Eagan back onside. Now Walter poke checks it away. Walter continues to put pressure. Down under a minute remaining. Eagan back through center ice. Poke checked away by Moorhead. Walter chips it up ahead. Battle for the puck at the center ice. Now Eagan finally enters in the zone. 2-on-2. That shot goes high up over the net. Quick shot there, saved by Welch. Krebs with the rebound, pokes away, and Welch will save that one, and he'll cover that up and settle things down. 26 seconds remaining here in the contest. All knotted up at 2 apiece. Again, Eagan on the power play for the remaining part of this contest. Scraps off the face. Actually, Clausen off the face off, able to clear. Down to 18 seconds remaining. Goaltender gets a lead pass up to number 5. Pokes it to the boards by Skink. Moorhead saved by Wells. Another save by Wells on the sharp angle shot. Now Larson from behind the goal line, and that's the end of this one. So another 2-2 tie skated to the end here between Moorhead and Eagan. So Moorhead comes back in the third period, puts up 2 goals, and ties this one up at 2-2. So 2 games against Eagan. We got 5 goals apiece in 2 tie games. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you back here at the rink tonight as Moorhead is scheduled to take on Lakefield. So from the Shields rink here in Moorhead, everyone have a good afternoon, and we'll see you at the rink.